Welcome to Anime Vault. Today, we're diving deep into the full breakdown of Invincible Season 1. Whether you're a longtime fan or just getting into the series, this is everything you need to know, explained in the most detailed way possible. So grab your snacks, hit that like button, and let's break down one of the most brutal and emotional superhero stories ever made. The beginning. Mark Grayson's journey to becoming invincible. Our story follows Mark Grayson, a seemingly normal teenager, except for the fact that his father is Omni-Man, the most powerful superhero on Earth. Omni-Man, whose real name is Nolan Grayson, is part of an alien race called the Viltrumites, a species of hyper-powerful warriors from the planet Viltrum. Growing up, Mark idolized his father, believing that the Viltrumites were protectors of the universe, traveling to different planets to help weaker civilizations flourish. Nolan always told his son that he came to Earth to protect it, but as we later learn, things are not what they seem. For most of his life, Mark had no powers, until, at the age of 17, everything changed. One day, while taking out the trash, he suddenly discovered super strength, launching a garbage bag into the stratosphere. Excited by his newfound abilities, Mark expected his father to be proud, but instead, Nolan looked concerned. The next day, he even mentioned that their lives might have been easier if Mark never got powers at all. Despite this, Nolan trains his son, pushing him harder than any mentor should. Mark is thrilled to become a hero and eventually chooses his superhero name, Invincible. At first, his journey seems like a typical superhero story. He saves people, fights villains, and slowly gets better at using his powers. But things take a very dark turn when a shocking event shakes the world. The Guardians of the Globe Massacre, Omni-Man's true intentions. The Guardians of the Globe are Earth's strongest superhero team, essentially the Justice League of this universe. One night, they receive an urgent distress call, summoning them to their headquarters. One by one, each hero arrives. Immortal, War Woman, Red Rush, Green Ghost, Darkwing, Martian Man, and Aquarius. But they soon realize something is wrong. Suddenly, Omni-Man attacks. Without warning, he slaughters the entire team in one of the most brutal fight scenes ever animated. Each hero fights desperately for their life, but Nolan mercilessly kills them all, taking brutal hits himself, but ultimately emerging victorious. The next morning, Omni-Man is found unconscious, barely alive near the scene of the crime. The world is in shock. Earth's greatest protectors are dead, and nobody knows who did it. The Global Defense Agency, GDA, a secret government organization led by Cecil Stedman, takes Omni-Man into their care, completely unaware that he was the one responsible. Meanwhile, as the world mourns the loss of its heroes, Mark continues his superhero training, completely unaware of what his father has done. Shahah, the first battles, facing the Flaxans and meeting the teen team. As Mark tries to prove himself, the planet is suddenly attacked by aliens from another dimension, known as the Flaxans. These invaders are highly advanced, but have a critical weakness. Time moves faster in their dimension, meaning they rapidly age when they enter Earth's atmosphere. Mark jumps into action, but freezes in fear when he sees civilians getting brutally killed in front of him. Luckily, he's not alone. Earth's second-best team, the Teen Team, arrives to fight back. Led by Robot, the Teen Team includes Adam Eve, a reality-warping hero with godlike powers; Rexplode, a cocky explosion-based hero; Duplicate, a fighter who can create multiple copies of herself. Mark quickly bonds with Adam Eve, who goes to the same school as him. However, she's already dating Rexplode, creating a bit of a love triangle. Days later, the Flaxans return, this time having evolved their technology to resist aging. The battle is much more intense, and Mark is nearly overwhelmed until Omni-Man arrives. What happens next is pure carnage. Omni-Man annihilates the Flaxans, slaughtering them by the millions. He even follows them back to their homeworld and single-handedly destroys their entire civilization, leaving behind a message: Earth is not yours to conquer. That sentence would later take on a much darker meaning. Cecil's investigation: who killed the Guardians? While Mark enjoys his new life as a superhero, Cecil grows suspicious of Omni-Man. Something doesn't add up. How could he have been the only survivor of the massacre? He orders his team to secretly monitor Nolan's every move. Meanwhile, Mark continues fighting crime and even embarks on a mission to Mars, where he unknowingly brings back a dangerous parasite. Elsewhere, Robot is seen working with the Mahler twins, two criminal geniuses known for their cloning technology. It turns out, Robot is actually Rudy Connors, a deformed man living in a containment tank. He orchestrates a secret plan to transfer his consciousness into a new cloned body, one designed to look like Rex Splode, since he knew that Monster Girl found Rex attractive. As time goes on, Cecil's suspicions are confirmed. Omni-Man did kill the Guardians. The problem? No one can stop him. Cecil launches his last-ditch efforts to take down Omni-Man, unleashing powerful cyborgs, a giant kaiju, and even the Immortal, who has been revived. Nothing works. Omni-Man tears through everything Cecil throws at him. The only option left is Mark. Omni-Man versus Invincible. The truth is revealed. Finally, Omni-Man reveals the horrifying truth to his son. The Viltrumites are not protectors. They're conquerors. He didn't come to Earth to help it. He came to prepare it for Viltrumite rule. Mark is horrified. He refuses to join his father, leading to one of the most brutal fights in animation history. Omni-Man destroys entire cities, killing thousands just to prove a point. He beats Mark nearly to death, but right before delivering the final blow, he has a flashback to his son's childhood. Overcome with emotion, he abandons his mission and leaves Earth, flying into deep space. Mark, barely alive, is left traumatized by everything he's learned. The future. What's next for Invincible? With Omni-Man gone, the world prepares for new threats. More Viltrumites are coming. The Flaxans might return. Cecil is building a cyborg army. The Martian parasite is loose on Earth. And then there's Alan the alien, who warns Mark that his biggest battles are just beginning. That's Invincible Season 1, a story of heroism, betrayal, and one of the most intense father-son conflicts ever seen in animation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my coverage of Season 2. This is Anime Vault, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. Welcome to Anime Vault. In today's breakdown, we're recapping Invincible Season 2 in just 10 minutes or less. By the time we're done, you'll have everything you need to know heading into Season 3. This season took the story to the next level, introducing multiverse threats, brutal Viltrumite battles, and major character transformations. So, let's dive in. An alternate timeline. A nightmare reality. Season 2 kicks off in a terrifying alternate universe where Mark actually joins Omni-Man in conquering Earth. This version of the planet is in ruins under Viltrumite rule, but an underground resistance, led by Robot, Adam Eve, and a scientist named Angstrom Levy, continues to fight back. As the resistance is about to be wiped out by this version of Invincible, Angstrom suddenly vanishes through a portal, escaping into the main timeline, the one we know from Season 1. Angstrom Levy's master plan. In Invincible, there are infinite parallel dimensions. In most of them, Angstrom Levy is an ordinary man with no powers. However, in this timeline, he has the ability to create portals between dimensions. His goal? Gather alternate versions of himself, merge their knowledge, and use it to create a utopia. To accomplish this, he enlists the Mahler twins, who somehow always escape prison. They build a machine to transfer the knowledge of Angstrom's variants into his brain. However, before the process is complete, Cecil sends Mark to stop him. A massive fight breaks out, and while Angstrom wants to keep Mark alive, the Mahlers don't care and beat him mercilessly. In desperation, Angstrom removes his helmet, the one thing he was warned not to do. This causes a massive explosion, vaporizing everyone except Mark, one Mahler, and Angstrom himself. Now, with his mind filled with chaotic memories from multiple realities, Angstrom becomes unhinged. In many timelines, Invincible is a monster who murdered his family. This drives Angstrom to a single purpose. He must kill Mark Grayson, the Guardians of the Globe, new leadership. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Globe undergo major changes. Robot, now fully human, struggles with fear for the first time, making him less effective in battle. Because of this, Cecil replaces him with the Immortal as the team's new leader. Two new heroes join the team, Bulletproof and Shapesmith. But Shapesmith has a secret. He's not even human. He's actually a Martian who stole astronaut Russ Livingston's identity back in Season 1. Inspired by Earth's superheroes, he decided to become one himself. Cecil knows his real identity, but allows him to stay on the team anyway. Mark's missions and the mystery of Atlantis. Mark, desperate to prove he's not like his father, follows Cecil's orders without question. One of these missions takes him to Atlantis, where he encounters a bizarre sea creature whose sound waves seem particularly dangerous to Viltrumites. Cecil immediately orders his scientists to investigate. Alan the alien's near-death experience. Far from Earth, Alan the alien meets with the coalition of planets, revealing that Omni-Man abandoned Earth and that Mark could be the first good Viltrumite. The coalition's leader, Thaddeus, finds this information interesting, but warns Alan that there is a traitor within their ranks. Before Alan can investigate further, he is ambushed by 3 Viltrumite warriors who interrogate him about the coalition's plans. They brutally beat him nearly to death, but Alan refuses to betray Mark or Nolan. Meanwhile, the Viltrumites continue searching for Omni-Man. Omni-Man's new life, Mark's half-brother. 6 months later, Mark has graduated high school and started college with Amber. But just as he's settling into a normal life, an alien arrives, begging him to save his planet, Thraxa. Despite Cecil's warning not to go, Mark ignores him and heads off, only to discover something shocking. Omni-Man is alive and ruling as Emperor of Thraxa. After leaving Earth, Nolan was consumed with guilt and nearly flew into a black hole to end his life. But when he saw a Thraxan ship in distress, he saved them. In gratitude, they made him their leader. Even more shocking, Nolan has a new wife, Andressa, and a newborn son, Oliver. This is a massive problem. Viltrumite law strictly forbids reproducing with genetically dissimilar species, meaning if the Empire finds out, Oliver will be executed and Thraxa will be destroyed. Before Mark can process any of this, 3 Viltrumite warriors arrive. The Viltrumite battle and Nolan's capture. A brutal battle erupts. Though Nolan kills 2 Viltrumites, he and Mark are both seriously injured. When Mark wakes up, he learns that his father has been captured by General Craig, a high-ranking Viltrumite. Before leaving, Craig delivers a chilling message. Mark must ensure Earth submits peacefully to Viltrumite rule. If the planet resists, they will slaughter millions. Mark stays on Thraxa for 2 months, helping rebuild. Before dying, Andressa begs Mark to take Oliver to Earth, hoping he can raise him to be different from other Viltrumites. When Mark returns, Debbie is devastated by the news of Nolan's new family. However, she ultimately agrees to raise Oliver as her own. The Lizard League's deadliest attack. While Mark was away, Earth faced a crisis. The Lizard League, usually a joke, acquired nuclear weapons. During the mission to stop them, Shrinking Ray was nearly killed. Duplicate was murdered. Rexplode had his brain blown out and lost a hand. Despite his injuries, Rex managed to defeat King Lizard and was later patched up by the GDA. Meanwhile, a shocking reveal. Donald, the GDA agent Omni-Man killed in Season 1, is still alive. Cecil had transferred his consciousness into a cyborg body multiple times, but this time, Donald remembers everything. Angstrom Levy's revenge and Mark's first kill. Consumed by vengeance, Angstrom Levy kidnaps Debbie and the Graysons, luring Mark into a trap. He then forces Mark through multiple dimensions, making him battle cavemen, dinosaurs, zombies, a Dr. Octopus-like villain. But when Mark returns and sees Angstrom threatening his mother, he loses control. In a blind rage, he beats Angstrom to death, marking the first time Mark has ever killed someone. However, this leaves him stranded in another dimension. The Future Guardians and Eve's confession. Luckily, he's rescued by the Guardians of the Globe from 20 years in the future. These Future Guardians reveal that their Earth was destroyed after Mark disappeared. Without him, everything fell apart. Before sending him home, Future Eve confesses that she was always in love with him and wishes she had told him sooner. Mark returns to his timeline, but isn't ready to face Eve about his feelings, especially after just breaking up with Amber. Final moments and what's next. A few final reveals. The Immortal left the Guardians after Duplicate's death, since they were in a serious relationship. Rudy, Robot, was reinstated as team leader. The real Russ Livingston returned to Earth, but a parasite inside him took control of his mind. The original duplicate is still alive and seeks out the immortal. That's Invincible Season 2. If you enjoyed this breakdown, drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more anime and superhero recaps. Let me know what I should cover next, and until next time, peace out.